Okay, welcome to day one of your March program. So we are going to start off with deadlifts, okay? So very quickly, obviously it's been our deadlift and bench press focus for the first 3 months of the year. So this is our last month to really focus and push. Quick explanation for those that haven't done deadlifts before, but there is a video in the Facebook group of how to do it exactly, but feet on either side, say if you're doing it with a kettlebell, okay? Hinging at the hips, keeping our back like flat, spine neutral. We're coming down, we're engaging that upper back. So I like to think of like pulling the bar apart, really helps me engage that upper back. Keeping that back flat, hips down. Inhale, exhale, drive the hips all the way up. And then after we're hinging the hips backwards and then bending the knees to get to the floor like so. On a barbell, it's pretty similar, okay? We are having laces under the bar, okay? So you want your sort of hands just shoulder width apart there, okay? You're gonna come down, so we hinge at the hips, keeping our back flat, and then I'm bending, dropping the hips down till I reach the bar. Once again, I'm kind of pulling in the bar to engage that upper back, okay? And then I'm gonna inhale, exhale, drive up, snap the hips forward, and then once again, keep the bar close to my legs, hinge the hips backwards and down all the way to the floor, keeping our back flat, okay? So, the goal here today is a rest pause. So we're gonna do our 6 to 8 reps, okay? You want the weight to be heavy. You wanna basically have sort of 1-2 reps in reserve that you're really pushing that weight, okay? You're gonna do your 4 to 6 reps of that weight. You're gonna pause for 15 seconds, and then you're going to go again and get as many reps as you can. Now the goal here is that you should be using a weight that's heavy enough that really you're sort of getting anywhere between 2 and 6 reps. Now, I haven't put what rep range to focus on specifically, because if you are doing it at home and you are, for example, using a band, you are going to be able to get a lot more reps. So maybe go for like double, start off with like 12 to 16 reps if you're just doing it with a band, rest, and then just bash out a few more. That way that you're building up that fatigue, because you're obviously doing it with a band, so it is less resistance, okay? So 6 to 8 reps, sort of 1 to 2 reps away from failure, and then rest for 15 seconds, and then go and try to get another sort of 2-4 reps after, okay? Then we're gonna go into banded donkey kick. So for this, I know I've given different options in the past, but this is the goal for this one. Is we're gonna take a little thigh loop. Unless your gym doesn't have one, let me know, and I will post a video in the Facebook group. You're gonna come down on all fours, okay? What you're gonna do is you're going to lock the band under the knee that's gonna stay still so that it doesn't move when you're kicking up with the other leg, okay? You're gonna be on all fours. You wanna focus on having that sort of pelvic tilt, okay? If you are extended like that when you're kicking back, chances are you're gonna probably feel it a lot more in your lower back, okay? So just have that sort of slightly rounded lower back. Inhale, exhale, engage pelvic floor core, drive your heel up towards the ceiling and back down. Okay, you're gonna do 12 to 15 reps there, okay? There's a nice big sort of burnout exercise. And then after, we are gonna go into a dumbbell single arm floor press, okay? So, this is just coming down, okay? Inhale, exhale, we're driving up one arm at a time, okay? This is a more sort of beginner intermediate sort of version. And then for those that are able, we're gonna do a hollow hold single arm press. So this is gonna be a hollow hold is essentially this core exercise where your shoulders are lifted off the floor, your arms are up by your head and your legs are out. Of course, you're not gonna have your arms up by your head, but the rest of the body kind of follows that position. So shoulders are up off the floor, you're like so, and then you're gonna inhale, exhale, drive up. And this really increases the core demand of the exercise, okay? So it's a good variation to practice, especially, for example, those that are working from home and have lighter dumbbells. It's an alternative to make it more challenging, but if you need any help with technique, please post a video for that in the Facebook group and I'll go over that with you. Then we're gonna go into our dumbbell or barbell step-ups. So let me get the bar out, okay? So for our step-ups, we've done these before. What we really want to focus on is full foot on the bench, heel, big toe, little toe. We're going to be driving up through that heel and that toe And then with today's, this month's program is what we're gonna focus on is the eccentric. So we're gonna try and focus on lowering slowly and under control, okay? So you're coming down, nice sort of, I think 3 to 4 seconds down to the floor to really control that pace, okay? So inhale, exhale, drive up, and then inhale as we slowly lower, okay? I have put dumbbell or barbell. I would probably recommend, if you were using barbell, to use dumbbell, because I do think it is easier to control the eccentric down with dumbbells than it is with a barbell. So inhale up, exhale, down under control like so. If you do want to use a barbell, it's completely fine, okay? Set your bar up, walk back, and then we're gonna step up. I can show you really quickly with this bar here, okay? Make sure you've picked it up in the middle, okay? Same thing, driving up, and then slowly lower down under as much control as possible, okay? So that is first exercise of a second tricep. Then we're gonna go into our Copenhagen plank dips, okay? So still on the bench, you're gonna go, okay? Now remember, more of the leg on the bench, easier it is. Less of the leg on your bench, the harder it is, okay? If you are new, I would recommend just having most of your leg on the bench coming up. You can keep this leg down. It makes it easier. To make it harder, we lift that leg up. If you're a beginner, I just want you to focus on holding it for 10, 20 seconds and get used to the movement. For those that have been doing this, we're gonna go into Copenhagen plank dips. So coming up, okay? Lift the leg up and we're gonna drop the hips down and up, really focusing on driving that adductor towards the floor, okay? Do that, and then we're gonna do it on the other side. And then you're gonna finish with a dumbbell bent over row. So having your dumbbells, okay? Hinging at the hips, keeping our back flat, and driving those elbows up towards the ceiling and back down. Inhale, exhale, come up, inhale, down. Okay, so that is your second tricep. And then finally, our third tricep is gonna be Cossack squats, bear plank walkouts, and a dumbbell Arnold press. So for Cossack squats, you can do it with a weight, or you can do it body weight, okay? We've done this before. You want your feet nice and wide. You're gonna push the hips back, drop down. You wanna make sure that that heel stays on the floor. That's a big thing. Those toes can come up if you want. It's not necessary to keep the foot down if it allows you for a deeper range of motion. You wanna make sure that your back stays nice and straight, that you're not rounding. And the other thing I wanna make sure that I do see quite a lot is people bending quite far forward. Okay, the movement is coming from the legs and the hips, okay? So we want that torso to stay upright. Then if you wanna add a weight, we're just holding here and we're coming down like so. If you find it easier, you can do all one side before moving on to the other side. Then we're going into a dumbbell Arnold press. So for this, I would suggest having a bench that can come up so we can do it off the back, okay? Sit down, have your back up against the back of the chair. You're gonna start off with your palms facing you, okay? Inhale, exhale, we're gonna rotate round and come up and coming back down, okay? So inhale, exhale, palms facing outwards as we come to the top, and then we're rotating back inwards, the palms facing us as we come back down. So 6 to 8 there, just a little bit of a different movement just to get a bit of rotation through these shoulders. If you are somewhere that you don't have a backrest, you can of course just do this sat down on the edge of something without that back support. It will engage your core more. So just make sure to keep your ribs sort of stacked over your hips, that you're not flaring too much and overextending your back. And then we're gonna finish off with bear plank walkouts, 2 variations that we can do here. First variation, we're gonna inhale, exhale, come up and just walk our feet back and in like so. You can reset your knees in between each one if you want. If you find that too easy, the next variation is coming up and then walking our hands forward. So until the legs are straight and then walking back till the legs are bent. Only do the second variation if you can really control your hips, that they're not swinging everywhere, and that you've got very good control of your core. So really, like so. And that is day one of your March program.